welcome back to Crochet at My House. We have plenty to show today. We're starting with all of the things we've gotten recently that's non-crochet related. Do you want to show first?
BBC, Doctor Who, Time Lord, Fairy Tales.
So this is an interesting book that we found. It's got this really nice cover and it's old, like classic fairy tales, but with a Doctor Who sort of twist. So we've got things like Cinderella and the Magic Box and the Twins in the Wood. So that's Cinderella. But the Twins in the Wood, I would say, is based off of Hansel and Gretel. But there are other ones in here. But it just sounded really interesting and something different. It'd be nice to know what their take was on the basic fairy tales. Now I have another big book here that I'm going to show. So this is Bill Bryson, One Summer, America, 1927. And it's kind of like, it's like a history book sort of thing. Not quite an autobiography. I don't know what exactly you would call this, because it's not specifically just about him, although it is a lot about him. There's other things going on, and there are pictures in here, like photographs and things, showing different things. Show here. And in its like little about bit, it says, in the summer of 1927, America had a booming stock market, a president who worked just 4 hours a day and slept much of the rest, a semi-crazed sculptor with a mad plan to carve 4 giant heads into an inaccessible mountain called Rushmore, a devastating flood on the Mississippi, a sensational murder trial, and a youthful aviator named Charles Lindbergh, who started the summer wholly unknown and finished it as the most famous man on earth. So famous that Minnesota considered renaming itself after him. So it's an interesting little bit of history, and it should be fun to read.
Next, we've got Sherlock Holmes.
Yep. So this is a complete illustrated novel by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and it's a big edition to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the first Sherlock Holmes novel. You could read more of that if you would like. If you pause. And it's a really nice copy of the book. Looks like inside. So there's not really too many pictures in here, but there are a few. And it should be a interesting read. Then I picked up this sort of oddball of a book. So its cover looks really quite odd. I have never seen another book with this sort of cover. So it's blue with a sort of grid on it. There is a tiny boat here, a smudge there, a tea stain here, and then at the bottom it says A Boy and a Bear in a Boat, and it's by Dave Shelton. And I just thought it sounded really interesting, so I picked it up. Go then.
The Amazing Story of
Adolphus Tips. So it's about this cat right here, and And by the looks of it, it's sort of a wartime type story because there's a lot of soldiers here on the background. And the little bit here that it says, the incredible tale of a deserted village, a lifelong friendship, and one very adventurous cat. So, it should be an interesting book. It's not as long as some of the other ones. There we go. And the last book I have to show is Secrets of the Shetlands, which has a really quite interesting cover. It's done in blue, a sort of purpley brown, white and black. And I thought it sounded interesting. Here's some information on the back. And it looks quite interesting inside. There are the occasional picture in there to go along with the story. And it's got some really thick paper, and it feels nice as well. Here's another picture. So that should be a fun read as well. Then
The Foxwood
Treasury. So this looks to be done by the same person who did Brambley Hedge, or at least the same illustrator. And it looks like a really nice book. There is lots of pictures inside, so it should be a fun read. Haven't read it yet, of course, but
it is very cute.
it looks a really nice book. Right, you want to show the last book?
Vintage Crafts
Workshop. So it's a mixture of crafts in here. Got folding paper sculpture there. Bit of embroidery. Wall hanging. A little tote bag. So it's kind of a mixture of things. There's a pincushion. Just a bit of an oddball mixture. Then we have a couple of other bits and pieces that aren't books.
We've got some stickers. Mr. Men stickers.
Yeah, quite nice ones. And we've got disc one of Fantasia CD. So it's the music that's in the Fantasia film.
And we've also got a bookmark.
And who's on it?
Mrs. Tiddywinkle.
Tiggy Winkle.
Tiggywinkle.
Which is one of the characters that Beatrix Potter made. So that's quite cute. And then lastly, we have this board game called Destination, and it's the Hogwarts edition of the game. On the back, we have a picture of the game board and some writing about it if you want to have a peek. We have had 2 games of this, haven't we?
Yeah.
And it's really fun. Really interesting. And it's got an interesting number of players you can have. This one, you can have up to 8 players, so it's a 2 to 8 player game compared to the average 2 to 4 player. So that's quite fun. You could have more players. Right, moving on, we have our projects. I have a couple to show, starting with this new one I just started. This is a pretty shawl, and it's the one out of this magazine I got the other week. I do a quick flip. I could tell you what the shawl's called. It is called the Lotus Petal Shawl, and this is what it's supposed to look like. And that's how mine is going. So I'm using a very nice bright colour yarn, and of course I will pop pictures in of the things we have been doing. I've been working on this on the bag she got for her birthday. So she's got some done up here, a little bit up there, and then she's got a fair bit done down at the bottom here. And you're really enjoying doing that, aren't you?
Yes, it's very relaxing. It does take a while, but it's very nice.
Then I have this, which I have not shown in ages. This is the skirt I'm making for myself, but it's taking forever because obviously it is done with a very, very small stitch. If you don't know, it's the handkerchief skirt, so you fold down the top corner, you sew this side and the next side together, and that makes your waist. So you actually have 4 squares in total. I'm just slowly working on it. It's not like a major need to get done type thing. Then my next crochet thing is I am making the squares from the Crochet Along in the magazine. So this is another of those squares. It is not finished yet, obviously. You can see it's not got an edge yet. I'm enjoying making it, and I'm loving how the different colours I chose are working out. Sometimes they look a little crazier than others. And lastly, I've actually been working on my diamond painting of the peacock that I started ages ago. So you can see I've gotten roughly that far down, and it is starting to look quite nice. I haven't got like a whole lot left to do. It just takes time when you're working on something with such small pieces. And talking about working on things, we have a thing to try. So you want to hold this up? This is some diluting juice, or squash as it's sometimes known. And basically what you do is you put some of this, not a lot, in a cup, and then you put water on top, and then you have juice, and we were going to try it. So it's interesting. It's definitely raspberry.
Yeah?
It's definitely got the raspberry. Not necessarily got the creamy part.
No, but you can tell that it is.
But I think it is a pretty close flavour. And what the flavour was drumstick, which here is a lolling, and it's usually a sort of rectangle shape, and it's pink and cream most of the time, which is raspberry and cream, and it's pretty similar. Moving on to things that I've gotten recently that are crochet related, starting with these. So these are a set of bag handles, and I thought they were really cute, and I really wanted to get them. And you can see they were by Clover. Oh, lucky find. And I got this little booklet, which has a mixture of crochet and knit patterns in it. And I thought it might be nice to try and make one of these things for the doll I've got that's kind of child size. There's some of the things in here. Here's another pretty good picture showing some of the things. So it's just a nice old pattern book. Then we've got 2 cardigans, knit ones. So there will be ones that my aunt makes. And I also got her this knitting magazine I found in a charity shop as well. Somebody else obviously had it at some point. But I got it mainly because I really liked this tea cozy and I thought it'd be really nice if she made it for Christmas. So there we go. That's that magazine. And then lastly, I have this much older one. So this one's Stitch Crafts, and it has for the best ideas in knitting, crochet and homemaking. 4 easy summer tops to knit, 4 comfy cushions, holiday jacket and twin set for large sizes. And so it's got a mixture of things in it. Got this bit, which is a cardigan and kind of vest top. Got this embroidered cushion. This is in here. It's quite nice. There's these cardigans. Some interesting cushions. Yeah, so there's quite a bit in there. So that's everything I've gotten that's been patterns. Now we're going to move on to all the yarn. Starting with this, so I'll show you the ball band. This is Hayfield Bonus Aran Tweed, and it's 20% wool and 74% acrylic and 6% viscose. This would have been a 400-gram ball. It's been pre-loved and pre-used, but I really like the colours and I thought they'd be fun for something, so I got that. Next we have King Cole Fashion Aran Combo, which is a really pretty kind of teal, aqua greeny blue colour. I'm not very good at describing colours. This is 30% wool, 70% acrylic, 100 grams. And it says for its shade, it's called Hint of Green. So there's that one. Next we have Super Soft Baby 4-ply James C. Brett. And it's a very light purple. Doesn't have a colour name, and this one's 100% acrylic, 100 grams. And we have this really tiny ball. This is Cedar Quartel Random. It was made in Wakefield, England by Cedar Limited. It's 25 grams and it's 100% acrylic. And I just thought the colours were really interesting and really bright and vibrant, because it's sort of a creamy colour with this neon yellow and then almost a softer yellow to it. Very nice. Then we have Cedar Escape Wool Rich Chunky, 50 grams. It is 51% acrylic and 51% wool and 49% acrylic. That was a little bit messy. Anyway, here is the colour. So it's a dark blue with like a light blue through it. Very pretty. Then we have Rowan Cotton Cashmere, which I've gotten a couple of these recently. A big sticker on the amount. And it's a 50-gram ball. Yep. And I think the amount of the stuff, 85% cotton, 15% cashmere. And it's a sort of brownish grey colour. Then I was saying the other week there that, well, I think it was, or was I just telling other people? Anyway, yeah, I did mention this. On here, Pound Stretchers, place I get yarn quite a bit, their Magic Iron was getting sold for £8, which it is still technically labelled at £8, but they did have it at 50% off. So that was technically £4 each. So I got 2 balls. Got the sort of rainbowy one and the purple and pink one. Because, well, it's down in price, I had to grab some. Next, I got this chunky yarn, which doesn't have a label or anything, so I don't know exactly what it is. I would say it would be counted as chunky. I just love the colour. It is really nice. It's sort of red, pink, and then zaps of blue through it. Very nice colour. So I picked that up. And I think that's everything I got recently. I think my question today is going to be, have you ever tried diamond art? And if you have, did you prefer small projects or really big ones? So remember, and like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications every time I put up a video. Hello! Oh, it's kind of... Moving on to things I've gotten recently that are... Moving on...